Before we start, I should clarify that this video isn't about the length or amount of content in The Elder Scrolls V. If you want to make a game that's hundreds of hours long, then who am I to complain about your hard work? You just need to ensure that your game is consistently fun over those 100 hours. No, the title of this essay is literal. Is the region of Skyrim physically too big to be entertaining? Skyrim is an enormous game. The world endlessly stretches for hours and hours, and it boggles my mind that this is only a portion of Tamriel. Skyrim is such a vast game that fast travel is a necessity to get anywhere, and because of that, you'll end up fast traveling around the world frequently, and the entire country will begin to feel disconnected, as taking the scenic route becomes such a time sink that it's never worth it. Take for example an even bigger game regarding map size, Breath of the Wild. Even when looking at this random footage I'm showing you now, if you've played Breath of the Wild, chances are you know where this is. Now of course, if you've played Skyrim for hundreds of hours as it was designed, you'd know the map like the back of your hand. But for me, who just played 70 hours of Skyrim 2 days ago from when I'm writing this, I struggled to recall the locations of areas that had no importance to the overworld, but I enjoyed exploring. I'm not saying there weren't any, on the contrary, I strolled across the frosted fields and forests and found myself having fun as I freely frolicked frequently, but I wouldn't be able to walk back there because the exact location eludes me. So Skyrim turned its fast travel system against itself. Because I was free to teleport wherever I wished whenever I was in the overworld, I never got to explore more than a few hundred meters from my closest fast travel point. As such, I never learned how to navigate the world of Skyrim. What direction I should go without my compass? How do I get to the nearest hold? It was always just quickly opening up the map screen and fast traveling. Now, I know what you're all commenting, then don't fast travel if you want to learn to navigate the world. And you're right, I never had to fast travel, but everything about Skyrim is designed to get me to fast travel. There are 4 key reasons why this game simply doesn't want me to explore the overworld fully. Now, the Radiant Quest system ensures that I'll eventually see every dark, dirty, and Draugr-filled dungeon, but nothing's pushing me out to explore the wilderness in between Skyrim's catacombs. It's missing an element like the Korok seeds that make you want to wander aimlessly looking for exciting oddities. And the sad thing is, Skyrim is filled with environmental storytelling all over the world, but nothing pushes you in their direction other than the fact it's on the path from one fast travel point to the next dungeon. The carriage drivers are the first and most obvious reasons Skyrim incentivizes fast travel. They sit inconspicuously outside every major city as you walk past, and they'll tell you that they'll take you to any hold in Skyrim. Now, why would you pay for something that's free in the menu? Because the carriage drivers will take you to the holds you haven't been to, robbing you of the feeling of discovering them as you inch closer to their waypoint. Once again, the carriage drivers are optional, but when a side quest is pointing me to Halffinger, and I've never left Whiterun, the game is clearly telling me I'm meant to use this system. The second reason is the horses in Skyrim. Now, for all Skyrim does right, its excellent non-linear design, its branching story that looks like goddamn Yggdrasil at this point, and the most customization in any video game ever, the horses are just bad. They don't fit with Skyrim's primarily mountainous terrain, and the worst part is that the horse AI is programmed to attack enemies. So I purchased my first horse for 1,000 gold, and then it proceeded to fight a dragon. And that was the end of horses in my playthrough. The third reason is the lack of traversal options. Now, I admit this isn't really a good point, because while Skyrim is an incredibly jarring game, they are going for realism, so gliders and grapples would never have worked. Still, it's rather boring how running is really your only option. The final point of why Skyrim is trying to force me to fast travel is my original point. It's too big. It's simply too long a trek with too little variety in the types of biomes and enemies you'll encounter to make a journey from Solitude to Riften worthwhile. Don't get me wrong, you'll see the gorgeous trees of the Rift glowing in the sun, the sturdy walls of Whiterun averting attack from its borders, the picturesque pines of the Pale glistening in the snow, the mountains of the Reach stretching to Sovngarde, and you'll walk across one of the most magical and realized lands ever put into a game. But it will be too long, and those beautifully intimate moments will be few and far between, as the game tries to usher you into one of its many stagnant dungeons for some fresh loot and a hearty fight. Skyrim has the most epic open world in industry history. Everything about Skyrim comes down to its sense of scale, dialogue trees, the amount of named NPCs, the length of its dungeons, the unequaled customization. Everything about Skyrim is made to be huge, but the map size is the one area they should have toned down. Open worlds are meant to be fully explored on the surface and then dig deeper down to see its many secrets. The bulk of your time in an open world shouldn't be spent scrounging in dungeons, especially in a game as mesmerizing as this one.